You have to be, in my experience, to get the best settlement, you have to be willing to go all the way, because the other side has to believe you're willing to go all the way. So that means working up the case as though you're going to go to trial, even though 90% of cases, let's say, don't go to trial. You still have to work it up like it's going to go to trial. And of course, that entails all the expense and everything else. Not to mention the fact that if you ultimately do take this case to trial, or you take it to dispositive motion practice before the judge, you're putting the case in a third party's hands that you don't control, right? So you can, I actually tell people, have you ever been in a situation where you believe the facts were on your side and the principles were on your side, and yet, nevertheless, you weren't able to convince somebody else that you were right, right? I mean, like, that happens all the time. That happens in families all the time, and they love you, right? So the judge who does not love you, or the jury who's a stranger to you, they have no incentive to find in your way. And no matter how subjectively passionate you feel about your position, there's no guarantee that your audience is going to feel the same way about it. In fact, it's almost guaranteed they will not have the same passion about it because they don't have a vested interest in it. So you have to understand sort of the limits of your power, and that this isn't a hard science. It's not like chemistry where you put in the same inputs, you always get the same output. I can put the same facts and the same witnesses into court, and I can get totally different outputs based on so many factors that are beyond your control, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's finding a way to tell people that hey, you're actually more empowered by working this out in some form or fashion than to put it in front of the tribunal and who knows what's actually going to happen. Yeah, they say that like 80% of attorneys overestimate their case or overvalue their chances of winning. And I'm like, well, if there's two sides, and sometimes there's more than two sides, if everybody's putting it as 80%, then our math is way, way off.
It's funny. I take the exact opposite view. I think that if you have a perfect case with perfect facts and perfect law on your side, you have an 80% chance of winning. And if you have anything less than that, it's probably a 60% chance of winning. And the reason why I say that is because you have a 20% chance of human error, right? Like, the judge could make a mistake, the juries could make a mistake, the witnesses could make a mistake, even the expert witnesses that you're paying could make a mistake. You, as the attorneys, could make a mistake. There's all these people involved in the process that are critical to your outcome who could make a mistake. And to say that there's a 1 in 5 chance of there being a sort of dispositive mistake that happens along the way, that to me is probably maybe even underestimating it. If you take, because of that human error element, you have to realize that there's could be, even if you have everything on your side, there could be a mistake.